Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
When we plan our vacation activities, many of us think of lazing on the beach with a good book or hiking through crisp mountain air. Maybe we plan on taking in the cultural treasures in museums or art galleries, visiting famous buildings or natural landmarks, or even taking in some adrenaline-filled outdoor activity. However, there are some really strange tourist attractions out there for those of you who enjoy the surprising and unconventional. Places where people leave offerings and pray for protection from the motorcycle god, where rats are worshipped. And if you enjoy noodles, there's even a spa where you can swim in a massive bowl of ramen. Number 12. Hakonekau Akane, Japan. At this spa-themed park in Hakone, Japan, visitors can enjoy an interesting combination of hot springs, ranging from traditional European, Japanese, and even more unusual and unique creations, such as the noodle bar, where you can swim in a bowl of ramen. It might smell yummy, but remember, it's probably best to keep your mouth closed. Number 11. Gnomesville, Ferguson Valley. It's as the name suggests, and exactly as the name suggests. In the Ferguson Valley of country Western Australia, there lives a thriving community of gnomes in a gnome village called Gnomesville. In the decade since their first appearance, the army of gnomes has exploded into the thousands. The small, lovable additions to the garden are often seen as a joke. However, there is something mysterious surrounding these small garden ornaments. There are remarkably few people who know exactly how Gnomesville appeared. However, there are several different stories. Some people believe that a random gnome appeared, and other people placed their gnomes so the original one would not be lonely. Whatever you think of Gnomesville, it's safe to say you are not likely to see anything quite like it on any other country road. Number 10. Pool of the 21st Century Museum of Contemporary Art. You would be forgiven for doing a double take when you see these fascinating images. It seems as if groups of people are submersed, fully clothed, in a swimming pool. But all is not what it seems. This is actually an optical illusion created by 10 centimeters of water being housed between two sheets of transparent glass. Visitors can either stroll into the swimming pool, an empty room, and gaze upon the rippling water effect, or look down from above. The incredible concept was created by Argentine artist Leandro Ehrlich and is part of a permanent exhibition at the 21st Century Museum of Contemporary Art in Kanazawa, Japan. Number 9. La Muralla Roja. La Muralla Roja, Spanish for the Red Wall, is a housing project located within the La Manzanera development in Spain's Calpe. At first glance, it's easy to get lost in the labyrinth of this haphazard design. Layers of geometric stairwells, winding thoroughfares, and castle-like turrets jolt the eye from one architectural element to another. However boisterous its personality may seem, its layout strictly conforms to the precise typology of the Greek cross, each arm of the cross intersecting at the service towers that contain kitchens and bathrooms. Number 8. Karnimata Temple, India. Rajasthan, India, the land of Maharajas, palaces, deserts, camels, and the Karnimata Temple, which not only serves as a refuge for rodents, but a place where they are worshipped as well. Built in the early 20th century by Maharaja Genghis Singh of Bikaner in reverence to Karnimata, a female Hindu sage, the temple's ostentation serves as no indication to the experience one is going to get. So high is the status of rats in this citadel of devotion that an accidental death of one of the inhabitants will require a replacement with a replica in solid gold. Number 7. The Cube Houses, Rotterdam. The cubic houses are a curious and magnificent architectural wonder located in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Straddled above roads and intertwined amongst themselves, Rotterdam's string of cube houses, each tilted at an abnormal angle of 55 degrees, have stunned every commuter to ever exit the adjacent Block train station. They were conceived and constructed by architect Piet Blom in the 1970s. Blom was asked by Rotterdam town planners to solve the dilemma of building houses on top of a pedestrian bridge, and, having built similar houses earlier in another town, Blom chose to repeat the design in Rotterdam. The lower level is a triangular area used as the living room. The middle level houses the sleeping and bathing area, and the highest level is a spare area used either as a second bedroom or another living area. Number 6. Dead Vlei, Namibia. Trying to describe what dead Vlei looks like in words is no easy task. This is a surreal place, a bizarrely beautiful landscape that makes you feel like you're strolling on Mars rather than planet Earth. Dead Vlei is found among the tallest dunes in the world, some reaching 1,312 feet high, which is almost as lofty as the Empire State Building. It is essentially a forest frozen in time. The absence of water and the intense heat has scorched all the vegetation in this valley, leaving behind black skeleton-like trees that cannot decompose because the land is too dry. Number 5. Genghis Khan Equestrian Statue, Mongolia. It appears on the horizon while you're still so far away. This sparkling visage of Mongolia's great leader, Genghis Khan. Built on the banks of a small river some 50 kilometers outside Ulaanbaatar, the equestrian statue is almost shockingly huge, some 40 meters high, about the size of a 12-story building. Visitors can climb up to the head of the horse. There's a museum on site. Of course, Genghis Khan is a national hero in Mongolia, so the gigantic statue doesn't seem strange at all until you consider that this guy was a ferocious, barbaric leader, an invader who pillaged and burned, a man responsible for the deaths of tens of millions of people and the destruction of countless pieces of cultural heritage. Still, winner winner. Number 4. Pradhan in the desert. Apparently, some shopping enthusiasts couldn't understand why the state of Texas, considering how big it is, didn't have a Prada store. Berlin artists Michael Elmgreen and Ingar Dragset went to work on an interesting solution of sorts. With the blessing of Muchia Prada herself, the store that sits on an empty stretch of US 90 outside the tiny town of Valentine, some 150 miles from El Paso, was built. Unfortunately, high-end shoppers are out of luck. This bizarre store has no door through its front windows, which display 20 left-foot shoes and 6 purses. The structure is permanently locked up, and there are very few signs of life, unless you count the increasing population of moths. Number 3. Carhenge Alliance, Nebraska. Of course, this monument has nothing to do with the Druids or ancient people, and there is really no mystery surrounding it. We know who built Carhenge. It was artist Jim Reinders and his family who put together this quirky attraction in a farm field north of Alliance, Nebraska, under the supervision of a farmer and engineer as a memorial to his dad. This Stonehenge replica is made up of 39 classic cars, which were painted gray and arranged in the same proportions as the original. Dedicated on the summer solstice in 1987, since that time, a number of other car artworks have been added in an adjacent car art reserve, including the Ford Seasons, inspired by Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and the Carnistona wagon. In 2006, a visitor center was added as well. Number 2. Bullet Baba Shrine, India. On December 2, 1991, Om Singh Rathore was riding his motorbike along a highway outside the Rajasthani city of Jodhpur when he lost control, skidding into a tree and dying instantly. What happened next created a legend. According to the stories, police took his motorbike to their station, and yet the next day it was found back at the crash site. They emptied the fuel tank and chained the bike up, but again, the next day it was found back near that fateful tree. Hearing of these miracles, locals moved the Royal Enfield Bullet to the site permanently, placing it on a concrete dais and enclosing it in glass. Now, passers-by stop off daily to leave offerings and pray for protection from the motorcycle god. Number 1. Mano del Desierto, Chile. It almost appears as though a giant zombie is rising from the ground in the middle of the Atacama Desert in Chile. Located in one of the driest places in the world, it features a hand popping up in the middle of nowhere. This was built in the early 1980s, and apparently, hands rising from the desert was an actual obsession from the sculptor. Luckily, it's not a giant zombie that was buried and is coming back to life. This is located near the Chilean town of Antofagasta, and it measures 36 feet high from the ground. Dry desert places are already creepy by themselves, but when you add a zombie hand to the mix, you might start to have nightmares. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.